know how far those two towns are from each other, but I would assume that they that I think because the Hurricanes have won a Stanley Cup, so
yes,
so that is that's something else right there. I mean, they've won a cup, and they won a cup the year after the strike. And again, like I said earlier, the players have 4 days, I think, to kind of reopen that argument, to have a work stoppage, not this year. Yeah, so what's your opinion on that? Do you see them coming to an agreement so that there's no work stoppage? No, you think there's going to be a work stoppage?
No, because Gary Bettman's commissioner.
Now, do you agree with me, Lewis, that he is the worst commissioner in all sports?
Oh, you mean the Antichrist? Oh, sure.
Yes. Okay, good. Because I think he is by far the worst commissioner in all sports.
You can say that again. A lot of people think, it's Roger Goodell. Goodell is no picnic either.
Right.
No, but Bettman's the worst. I mean, look, he's almost destroyed his own league.
Yeah. And I think the best commissioner, I'm not really a big NBA fan, is Adam Silver. I think he's handled the NBA very well.
Yes,
I think
he has.
Signing that, I mean, yeah, we had Golden State and them dominating for a while. Cleveland was there last year. We had Toronto win their first NBA championship. We've had some trades. Yeah. That's going to be starting back up soon again. We had that kind of thing. But I mean, for the most part, I think he's the best commissioner in all sports. Is Adam Silver, in my opinion.
I would think so. Well, what about Rob Manfred? Or is the jury still out on him?
I think the jury's still out on him. I really do. Him taking over for Bud Selig, yeah, he's again, Bud went through the steroid thing with Sosa and oh Jesus, I can't think of the guy's name now.
McGuire.
Thank you. That thing going on, so I think the jury's still out on him. I would, if you're gonna rank them, I would say Silver, Goodell, Manfred, and then, of course, Bettman is the worst by far of the three of them, or four of them. Right? So, I mean, that's that. I mean, again, the jury's still out on the baseball commissioner, and I mean, Goodell may have dropped the egg on a few things with how he's handled suspensions, and they boo him at the draft. I think we sometimes watch the NFL draft just to see how much he gets booed. I think us fans watch the draft just to see how much he gets booed. So I think that's kind of funny, too. I think that's kind of funny, too.
I mean, people just watch the games and they see him get booed if he shows up at the Super Bowl and whatnot.
Right.
And they boo Gary Bettman at the end of the Stanley Cup Finals when they hang out
They hang out the cup.
Trophy.
Correct.
They boo him.
Correct. Well, he should be booed. And again, if they end up with another work stoppage next year, he should be the owners of the NHL should get rid of him. Plain and simple, because that's who employs him is the owners of the NHL franchises. So they need to get him out of there. If that's how it's going to be, if that's how he's going to be, they got to get him out of there. They have to get him.
He's a tough nut to crack, Bradley.
Right.
He really is. He hasn't changed his mind or anything.
No.
Yeah.
But
thanks to your stupidity, you have had now 3 lockouts in your career, and it's probably going to be a 4th. You haven't done much of anything.
Well, then he also, too, Lewis, came out and said that there's no comparison between concussions and CTE, but yet the NFL did research and that said that there is, but he says no, that doesn't happen. And you would think
that's because Gary Bettman himself has a concussion. It's affecting his brain.
I agree with you. I honestly, like I said, he is by far the worst commissioner in all sports. He really is. Yeah. In all honesty,
even though people I talk to don't seem to agree.
And that myself, I mean, that's just that BS. I'm just gonna say that out loud. That's BS.
Right, of course.
If they believe that.
Well, because many, of course, especially around this part of the country, they follow more of football than hockey. So some are not really familiar with Bettman as they are
with Goodell.
With Goodell. So
by
far, but in terms of that, they would say that Goodell is the worst commissioner. But if you follow hockey more closely and pay attention to what's happened in the last 25 years, I can assure you that Gary Bettman, by far, is the worst commissioner in all of sports. Probably second all time.
Probably. Yes. I would agree.
The first would have been maybe even first. Because three lockouts.
I would say, Lewis. I would say he definitely has got to be up there as the worst of all time. Of all time, I don't think there's anyone out there that's had more BS in his league. And like you said, 3 work stoppages and a possible 4th, and you're not the worst commissioner of all. Please.
If that's not the worst, I don't know what is.
That's exactamundo. Exactly. I agree with you. Well, Lewis, I don't mean to cut you off, but I have another caller on here that I got to take. So, do you want to stay on here, or are you going to get off for the evening?
I'm due elsewhere, so we'll leave it at that. If you get a chance to call the show, Harry, I'd love to hear from you.
I will try. I'm going to be at the USF game on Saturday, but I'll try. I will try.
Oh, Southern Florida. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, USF. Yeah, the kickoff's at 6 o'clock, so I'll try. I'll try to get on there, though.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
I'll do a remote broadcast.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, guys, I am going to bring on Mr. VonAllen. Mr. VonAllen, are you on?
Yeah. Hey, man, what's up?
How's it going? Sir?
Good.
So we come out of the blocks. We're winning 33-3. That's a pretty impressive start.
Yeah, it was much better than I thought. I actually expected Pittsburgh to play better. I expected them to want to come out and show something, with Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown being gone, and I just expected more from them. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I still do, but I'm going to be honest. I didn't see bad Steelers as much as I saw great Patriots. I watched Ben. I rewatched the game. Ben was hitting a lot of his reads correctly. It's just there was nowhere to go. The Pats defense was just that good. It was fantastic. I don't want to get crazy, but this might be one of the best Patriots teams we've ever seen. Maybe, we'll see, but it could be.
I would agree with you. I think what Belichick did with the Steelers is he knew that Juju Smith-Schuster was the top target. Now that Antonio Brown is a Patriot, he was the number one target. So what does Belichick do? He goes and takes him out of the equation altogether, makes Ben check down to the second target. We kept them on the ropes, and I'm really the impressive thing with me, would be our defense, because no one thought that that's been kind of like, I'm not going to say it's the bad side of the team, but the offense has carried a lot, but the defense looks good this year. And like you said, I agree with you. I think this could be one of the best Patriot teams we've seen in a while.
Yeah, I'm very excited about the defense, actually. I just couldn't believe how good they were. They just kept going from where they were in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yep.
Extraordinary.
So what's your take now on this whole Antonio Brown situation now? Because this is a Patriot fan talking to a Patriot fan. What do you think this whole experiment's going to work out? Do you think Belichick is the right coach to kind of get him back in track, or is this just something that's going to blow up?
Well, wow, it depends on so many factors. Basically, when he was doing this stuff on the Raiders, and we were all watching on Hard Knocks and watching all the idiotic stuff, and of course, I never in a million years did I think he was ever going to end up on the Patriots. I never thought the Raiders would ever get rid of him.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, even at that time, some of the stuff he's doing just seems so stupid, so ridiculous, so crazy. It doesn't even make sense. He's not even being rational. That I thought this has got to be on purpose for some reason. He's got to be doing. I actually remember thinking those things, and here we are. Who threatens to retire because of their helmet when they know that other players have already conform to that. I mean, it was just ridiculous. No matter what the Raiders did, no matter what the league did, it wasn't good enough. He one-up it. He kept one-upping it, and it was like, really, man? I had to start believing that it was something that he wasn't going to let go. He had a mission. I think he was wanting off the Raiders the moment he got traded there. I don't know if he was trying to get to the Patriots exactly, but I know he was trying to get off the Raiders. If that's the case, and if he is not completely nuts, then yeah, it'll work out for a year at least. But even Randy Moss, if you remember Randy Moss, after he got comfortable and he was there for a while, he started mouthing off, and then he did that press conference where he started talking junk about the contract and all this stuff, and then he was traded to Minnesota almost immediately. So Antonio Brown, I don't think, is as level-headed as Randy Moss is. So if Antonio Brown makes it this season, I think it'd be seen as a miracle and an accomplishment. So,
because I know that they signed him to a 1-year extension in 2020. I think I saw that 1-year player option. So if he does survive the year, in a Patriot uniform, I guess the option is on the table for him to come back in 2020, the 2020-2021 season.
Right. Right now they gave him $9 million guaranteed, and then there's another $1 million, I think, as a workout bonus or roster bonus or something like that. Can't remember exactly, but it's like $10 million total. And then there's like around $5 million in incentives. Mm-hmm. That's my problem. I have no idea why this happened. Of course, I'm not Belichick. He clearly knows what he's doing. My just question is when I saw the incentive package, it's like 1.5 for catches, 1.5 for yards, and 1.5 for touchdowns, things like that. I was like, oh, no, because one thing I know about people is when you tie their money with stuff, they can get really, really hard to deal with. And Antonio Brown, the moment he doesn't get 10 catches in 1 week, he's going to say, well, my incentive package, you're costing me my money. You're costing me $1.5 million if I'm not getting my catches. So if you would have given him just a flat rate, then he wouldn't really be able to say anything. But now that his money is reliant on that, he's justified almost in being an ass. And when I saw that incentive, I was like, oh my God, why would you give that guy an incentive package? Why? But I guess they don't see it as a problem. So who am I to question Bill? It's just an observation of mine, so I'm not really questioning him. I'm just saying that was kind of weird. I thought that was weird, but he must know what he's doing. So,
do you think with our first pick, I think it was Perry or whatever, I think it's his last name, the kid that we drafted, the wide receiver, he's hurt. Do you think that he's going to come back and have a decent season?
Russ, I mean, to kill Harry.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Well, I had him before the season. I had him pegged to be in Rookie of the Year talks.
Okay.
So that's what I think about him. So yes, when he comes back, he's going to contribute somehow. Okay. I think Tom likes him, and they built chemistry over the off season. So I think that's going to be fine. I think he's going to be a great Patriot for the next 10 years.
I mean, the other Patriot that I thought that they drafted is Chase Winovich. I think he's going to be a freaking stud on defense.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah. I really like him. I saw him jawing the other day with a veteran in the Steelers game. I was like, my God, man, he's already acclimated. He doesn't even look like a rookie. So.
Yes. Yeah. I agree with you. I thought that the Steelers were going to come out. I thought the game was going to be a little bit closer. I could see I still thought New England was going to win the game, but I thought that Pittsburgh would have, it would be a 7-point win or a 10-point win, not a 30-point win. I mean, we shut them down totally. So, and the interesting part now is we moved to Miami, where Tom seems to struggle, but I don't know how we cannot win the game this upcoming Sunday with how bad the Dolphins looked against the Ravens.
The only thing I'd say about the Dolphins game is this. The Patriots seem to struggle against former coaches.